It's a creation process so that you can basically jump into it, write a simple chord progression, start singing, and have your song kind of shipped out and ready to send to your friends right away. You basically just play around with the different chords that are available until you figure out the ones that you like. Originally, we actually don't even have the names of the chords on here, but we found that some of the more advanced users are kind of prefer to have those so that they know which chord is which. So let's just play around a little bit. So hard to see from here. So that should be a progression that we can play. We start kind of humming a melody that accompanies the chord progression. So the chords are kind of guidelines for writing your melody, which is kind of what you usually sing with your song. So for example, let's try that again and see what I can come up with. That one doesn't sound that great, so what I'm going to do is do a substitute. So the chord creation system, we kind of try to use something that feels like a word processor. So internally, I'm basically trying to hum a tune and writing lyrics to accompany it. So normally this process kind of takes a while, as you can see. What we tend to see people do is they kind of go back and forth and tinker with the chord progression until they come up with something that kind of works for them. So what I'm going to do right now is jump to something that I'm already kind of sort of working with for a while. Actually, it's not that much longer, so let's go back to the composer for now. So I kind of worked out the progression here, and I kind of roll out the lyrics. So the second step that you would take is to arrange the song. What that means is basically cue in the different instruments that you would use for the song. And we also try to keep that kind of simplistic, which is why we kind of use these color block system. What it means is that when the timeline rolls over a certain instrument that's colored in, it would play the instrument at that point in time. So if you don't like what you hear from the instruments, you can kind of change it individually, or do what I like to do is to basically change entire groups of instruments. So let's have like a more dreamy feel to this song. Actually, no. Let's try blues, because that's what the song is supposed to have a feel like. Okay, that sounds good. So I'm going to keep this and move on to the next step. So as you can see, we try to keep these processes on separate screens because our earlier versions had everything on the same interface, and people tend to freak out when they see too many things appear at once. So we have a nice long tutorial that basically allows you to do this step by step, from chord progression to arrangement. So this is actually another one that I've done before. It's actually using a chord progression of a popular song, which is one of the other things that you can do with EggBeat, which is to basically take a chord progression from a Guitar Tab's website and basically build your own arrangement to it and sing it. Or obviously you can change parts of the song if you want to, since our tools allow you to create stuff from scratch.
All around me are familiar.
So I actually had a recording of this song already.
Worn out places, worn out faces.
And we have a system that basically allows you to set up so that the lyrics grow with the parts of the song. You have to excuse my singing. I'm kind of a flash developer, not a musician, but it also kind of shows you how easy it is for someone with zero music background to start writing songs.
No tomorrow, and I find it kind of funny.
Maybe I should spare you the rest of the dribble. So. That's the entire flow. Basically, once you send this out, your friends will be listening to it. And you can kind of see that in my profile page. So, why not? So this is actually, we mixed someone else's song. So what I can do with some of the other songs is, so this is a song made by some other artist. And what I did is I used the remix tool, and then I simply used the arrangement tool, skipping the one.
Time, can't rhyme, can't deny what's in love.
So I skipped the chord progression, and I skipped. Well, I actually did my own dual lyrics. But, so you don't have to be involved in the entire process if you want. You can basically pick what you want to do and just kind of run with it.
The time is up and I'm going away.
What we have in here is you, like for myself, for instance, I don't really like sing a lot, but I love music. I like writing music. And then what I did is I write music and put in lyrics, and then I would basically have one of our users in EggBeat to sing it for us.
So basically what you put out for your song is completely up to you. Obviously, we don't want you to put out something that's completely blank, but otherwise you can actually have the lyrics out without any sound whatsoever, and someone can come in and remix so you can put in the chord progression, put in the instruments, sing, that person might actually stop at that point and publish again, and now you have, something that's, actually I don't really have one that
It's basically that we are creating environments that you could collab with other users
right.
On their website too. Yeah. So like, I can collab with Alex, or I can collab with you, or I can collab with anyone else in the world, pretty much.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Can we hear Ralph's chicken?
Well, right now the site is, at least for us developers, there's a lot of in-jokes going on right now, which is,
Well, I can tell you that this is part of our everyday lunch.
Chicken, Val's got chicken. It's actually kind of good. It tastes so good. Val's got chickens. Chickens, clam chowder too. Yeah, we had some friends. We had a lot of fun. Val's cooked just lunch covered. Dinner, I get that chicken. Dinner, French bread, clam chowder. Val's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I am hot on raw chicken. I don't care about lyrics, cause you know what? I love raw chicken. Actually, the funny thing is I borrowed.